Hello, good morning to everybody. On behalf of Estonian Chamber of Commerce and Industry and Georgian Chamber of Commerce and Industry and the Estonian Development Cooperation Program, I'm greeting you at Estonia-Georgia Women Entrepreneurship Forum. And it's a huge pleasure to be here with so many fascinating ladies and one brave man among us. And Giorgi, you will experience what many women have experienced throughout their careers, being the one and only women on the board table or on the meeting or in a business networking. Things are changing fast, but still we thought in the chambers that we can speed up the process by doing a female entrepreneurship project. And just before I give a floor for the greetings to Giorgi, a few words about me and why I'm here doing the moderation work today, and hoping that the program goes as it should be, and that everybody in the forum will be happy and well networked and well connected after the forum. I joined the chamber 5 years ago. I never thought I will stay that long, but guess what? Pandemic happened and we have had so many amazing projects that these 5 years has flown by way very fast. But besides work in a chamber, I also created my own company. It's a micro enterprise, and I think a lot of inputs. What are the daily struggles of the entrepreneurs, both female and male? And just few words about the chamber, because it's always good to know who are the organizers of the event. And in Estonia's case, the chamber was already created during the first independence. And just 2 days ago, Estonia was actually celebrating the day, and very special day, when we have been independent more days than non-independent under Soviet regime over the past century. It's a very remarkable day. But what I would like to point out is the fact that the vision and the mission of a chamber have always remained the same. It's to provide the support and business services to the members and to the companies. The services which are available both for our members and non-members alike are listed on the slide over here. But why I would like to point it out, because also if you're a Georgian women entrepreneur looking for new business opportunities in Estonia, then we encourage you to turn to the chamber to find out more precisely about a specific field or specific niche what you are active, or you have an idea to be active. And just 2 months ago, we had a business mission from Georgia here in Estonia. And a few weeks ago, we already saw a post that some of the business delegation members had been sending their first delivery of a products to Estonia. So you can see that the things here move fast and are relatively easy, even during pandemic times. So few words about Estonian business culture, because when you are dealing with Estonians, be prepared that we want everything to be simple. We also appreciate a lot of transparency, because this is the environment that we have come used to. And mainly it's because 99% of our government services or public sector services are all available also online. And these services also allow the corruption to be really a minimum. I'm not saying that we don't have any corruption, but if the decisions are made by the systems, not by the officials, then everybody can understand that there is less chances for corruption than vice versa. The same goes for all kind of business relations. We expect it to be flawless, to be smooth, and also the same goes for paying taxes. It should be easy, and all the unnecessary costing should be avoided. And as you can see, if it's possibility to do it online, Estonians prefer to do it online. And the same goes for the forum today. And at the same time, Estonia is so small, but we are a very open economy. So there's a lot of chances for international and foreigner companies. The market is not restricted. And yes, even like all the laws you can find in English in our public webpage. And at the same time, what is very important whenever you're doing business, whether it's in your country or abroad, building trust. And how to build trust over the online mediums. Soon Hedi will walk you through about this, but at the same time, building trust is important. And you may find Estonians sometimes too straightforward and maybe too direct, but at the same time, they expect the same from their business partners. And these are just a few things we wanted to highlight in the beginning of the forum, so that you would already set mind to doing business and exploring business opportunities within Estonia and also in Georgia. And when you take a look to this photo, it's our newest government, which is headed first time by the female prime minister. And there are 46% of women in the government. One can ask, why do we need to monitor it, or why is the number important? But if you think or consider the fact that more than 50% of a society are made of women, then obviously it plays quite a significant role. Why should the government and the business side be led by men only in case the society does not be composed only of men? And this is an ongoing debate which we are still having, and I'm pretty sure that you're having it in Georgia as well. But we strongly believe that encouraging women entrepreneurs and creating the strong networks of them and enabling them to share their stories and their entrepreneurship journeys are the way to encourage more and more women to take up the business leader positions and also to create their own companies. With no further ado, let me just clarify that this forum will be recorded and you will have access to the recording later on. This forum serves not only as the inspiration, but also as the networking space. And soon Hedi from WorksUp will tell you more about this, how exactly to do it. And I wish you a great event and lots of inspiration. With no further ado, I will now give a screen over to Mr. Giorgi Vekua from the Georgian Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Please, Giorgi.
Well, hello. First of all, I would like to express my appreciation for the invitation. I think it's an excellent opportunity for the networking from both Estonian and Georgian women entrepreneurs. Now, first of all, I would like to thank our partners, first of all, Estonian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, as well as organizer Estonian Development Cooperation. I'm sure that this forum will have a long-lasting and significant effect. Before I start, I would like to pay your attention to one very important event regarding women entrepreneurship. We are partnering with UN Women, and there is a 16 days joint action against gender-based violence. So I think it's very important for all enterprises to participate in this, because it's a joint action from private sector to support cooperation. Now, I would like to highlight that, yes, I am, I think, the only male participant, but from my perspective, yeah, I'm in a minority today. However, this signifies that how important it is to be, not to be left out and to be given a forum. So I've been working in the chamber for past 5 years. However, only I think 2 years I've been involved with support of women entrepreneurship in general. As soon as we had joint project with UN Women. Now, from my personal perspective, is that initially I saw that, of course, it is very important to support women entrepreneurship. However, only later on I understood the significance of it, because when we are supporting women entrepreneurship, I understood that basically we are for quality, because at this time this is the action that is being needed to full transparency and for all entrepreneurs to be equal. This is especially significant in the developing countries, and developed countries have a lot to share in this regard. Now, for today's event, I think I focus the digital events. However, I always miss old times before the COVID, when we had an opportunity to meet face to face. And in this regard, we've been very close partners with the Estonian Chamber of Commerce, and we organized numerous events in the past. And I'm sure very soon, in a very close future, we will have an opportunity to visit each other again in the format that we used to have in the past. Now, today's event has two significance, I think. One is that we have a very distinguished speakers, and they love their experience and their overall entrepreneurship knowledge, as well as networking opportunity. And I think this will be beneficial for all participants, because opportunity to learn something new and meet new people is something that should be taken advantage of. Now, on behalf of the Chamber, I would like to say that indeed Estonia is our close, let's say, friendly neighbor, friendly country. We had a lot of interactions in the past, and especially this is evident from business to business relations. And you mentioned tax regime, for example, and indeed we also aspire from full digitalization. And we even implemented the Estonian model of the tax system at some point. So I think we should be considered partners. And for all participants today, I would like to say this is an excellent opportunity, not only to get new knowledge and new information, but also to establish B2B, engage in B2B activities, as well as discover Estonian Chamber as your good partner in Estonia in general. And on behalf of the Georgian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, I would like to tell Georgian entrepreneurs as well as Estonian entrepreneurs that we will support you not only in Georgia, but abroad as well. And our chambers, like Estonian Chamber, offers a lot of services, consulting services, as well as different trainings, capacity buildings, and a lot of participants, I believe, discovered this opportunity. And for Estonian companies, I would like to offer the same as Estonian Chamber offered you. If you are conducting your business in Georgia, please consider Georgian Chamber of Commerce and Industry as your key partners. I will not be long in my address, because there are very significant and interesting participants waiting for the forum. So I wish you a good luck and good health. Thank you.
Thank you, Giorgi. And obviously, good health is now needed more than ever before. But we will head now on with Ms. Hedi Krönström from WorksUp, who will give an overview what are the exact opportunities in this WorksUp platform. Hedi, please.
Hi everyone, I'm extremely delighted to greet you all at WorksUp and use the benefits of the platform. So to start off, I will actually share my screen and show you the real event example where you're currently at and the opportunities that you can use on the platform. Although today I will more specifically introduce you the the benefits of networking on the platform, I want to actually start off with another feature that you can use as well. And you can use it right now because you might have questions for me as well. And as you can see on the agenda view, we do have integrated for each and every session the Q&A button. So please feel free to share the questions or ideas or your comments here. So for instance, what is AI matchmaking? And post the question. So what you can also do is that you can upvote the questions if you like the question that is asked already by other attendee. So with this, we can like sort out the popular questions. And as you can see, the questions are actually anonymous as well. So feel free to ask anything. But now to the networking part. So first step in networking is that we encourage you to open the profile tab under the footer menu of the event and actually edit your profile. So you can also add your profile photo and image, which definitely enables finding you later in LinkedIn by other attendees as well. But you can edit your name, occupation, and organization as well. But what is extra, as I was asking the question in Q&A as well, what is AI matchmaking? We do have the possibility to edit interests as well. It's not mandatory for networking, but it will add huge value to the networking process. So how it works is that if you go to your profile and below part of the profile, you click on edit interests. And you do have the possibility to add here your keywords, what kind of competence you're offering or what kind of knowledge you offer to other attendees. Or you can select from the previously typed in interests. So these interests are actually added by you, by other attendees. So it's working on a crowdsourced method. And just adding here another keyword to show how it works, and just selecting a couple of more keywords that I'm offering to other attendees. The next step will be what kind of competence and knowledge I'm seeking for from other attendees. So again, I'm making now selection of the previously proposed interests. And now I'm ready to network and use the AI matchmaking. So I can see here as well which kind of selections I have made. Now I'm ready to move further to the participants tab. And by participants, or by clicking on that, I can see already matches with my selections, and there is a leaderboard of matches like matchmaking in fact. And it, as you can see, it works on real time as well. And you can also see no matches as well, so no one is lost. Don't worry about that. But just showing you how you can move further with the contact. And I'm selecting someone or searching for someone I want to say hi to. And by clicking on the profile, I'm going to say hi. And then I will be able to chat with the contact. And not only chatting is allowed and enabled, but also video chatting. So you can propose for the contact the possibility to start the video chat as well. So this is how the networking is working. So also, if you don't manage to send out the messages to the contacts you are interested in today during the event, because as already mentioned, the presentations are very interesting, then feel free to reach out to the contacts after the event. So all of the attendees might be interested in taking a look for the next weeks in WorksUp to see if any other contact requests or chats have been initiated by other attendees. But this is currently all from my side. I'm wishing you a very good continuation of the event, and feel free to use networking and its benefits. Thank you so much. Have a great event.
Thank you so much, Hedi. And I think it's a brilliant tool for everyone in the room, because actually if it's a physical event, you couldn't be talking with all the participants during the presentations, only during the break time. And now you have this opportunity, so use it widely. With no further ado, I will now give a screen over to our first speaker, Mrs. Kristel Meos, a partner at Zenith, the family office, and Kristel will share her entrepreneurship story. Please, Kristel.
Good morning, Estonia. Good morning, Georgia. I'm very glad to participate at this type of seminar. And as time is limited for everyone, I'm going directly to the topic. My entrepreneurship story. But before that, I'm saying some words. Why did I say yes right away when Piret was asking, please come and join? Is the countries, Estonia and Georgia, they inspire me. But they inspire through people. And the most inspiring people from Georgia, from Estonia are in front of you. And they are both in the hearts and souls of people. Anne Veski and Liisa Bagriationi, both superstars and excellent people. So what matters even more, they are excellent people making their countries bigger. And this connection was making very easy for me to come and share the story and hopefully inspire someone. Hopefully give some additional dimensions what to think on, what to deal and work on, and hopefully contacts for me, for you, and let's enjoy this seminar. I put forward some topics to go over. I'm starting out who I am. I'm Kristel Meos. As Piret was saying, one of the titles is partner of Zenith family office. My roots are from Estonia. I've been constantly going out, but coming back, and more convinced that the roots are where you should come back. And for me, Estonia is the place where the roots are and the best place to live and work. And I see that COVID has been able to even enforce that feeling. Several famous Estonians who have been abroad, they have been coming back during COVID time, and we see they are enjoying this place. For example, the conductor Kristjan Järvi has been saying Estonia is the genial place to be, while he before has been all around the world being the famous Estonian, but not in Estonia. I've been going to school in Tartu, studying in Estonia, in Tartu University, in US, then in Estonian Business School again. I've been working in finance, in banking, in one organization under different ownership and name, Savings Bank, HANZA Bank, Swedbank, for more than around, I think, 15 years. And now I'm a founding partner of Zenith Family Office, which was established by 4 equal partners 12 years ago. 3 men, 1 woman. Like I'm saying it in this seminar. Usually I'm not thinking on that dimensions. For me, life has always been full of activities. They are all intertwined, whether they are hobbies, home, work. I love what I do, and for me it's very difficult to even make the distinctions. What is what? This is my life. For my life, I've been loving to be the frontline person, to be in contact with people, to get the feedback on what is going on, what they like, what they don't like. This is only not about positive things all the time, but it's both the positives and negatives what take you further. I've always had, besides work, different social projects. My biggest project is family business, Estonian Aviation Museum, founded by my father. I'm the chairman of the council, able to fire my father if I can say so, but this is not the dimension. But this is what is taking a lot of effort and time of the whole family. I'm the president of Estonia Family Business Association, elected to be in the post for 3 years. Half of it has been done. And different other activities, either it's sport related or culture related. This is what I enjoy. And what is important is, of course, friends and family. I have a 4-year-old daughter whom I love most. And I always think that people are the things that take you further. And even this digital thing is okay. Anyway, you get the contacts and touch. And when I'm already touching the purpose in life, a little one introducing who I am, I think life depends a lot on values. And values are part of a human being, and they come with the upbringing, with the genes, with the nature around you. But life has taught me that the values don't change too much. They are with a person. The person is what the values are. And you have to accept it. And for me, for my values, I think it's the respect of what is around you, being honest, like Piret was saying before, also that Estonia is straightforward and honest. Like that's how I feel as well, and being positive about things, because anything can be viewed either positive or negative. The same thing. It depends on your mindset. And I've been lately inspired a lot by one of the training brought forward by Chamber of Commerce of Estonia. It's about succession planning. It was delivered by neurologist Jill McKay. And it very much matches with my way of thinking. It's about what is bringing you happiness and well-being. And there are like 3 components which intertwine in my work and other life and ways of being. And the 3 things are enjoyment, engagement, and having purpose. And when I'm talking further, I have been intertwining these 3 things in around these 3 dimensions, which are like enjoyment, engagement, and purpose. About a little about my business life, and when I tell about the purpose in life, I'm just making more insight. Like my working life has been, as I mentioned, involved in banking and finance, and Swedbank as a group with the different dimensions has been one big block there, where I've been the manager, top manager, part of a management board of Swedbank Estonia, and then Zenith family office being an owner and partner. They can be different roles. It's one manager role, ownership role, where I'm also the leading partner and being the manager, one of the 4 managers. But for me, anything I do, it's with a full giving what I have, not keeping back anything from there. And when I was a manager in Swedbank, I was once in France and in a training, and I couldn't do something at work so that it's done 1 week later. And I was dealing with it, and one person there came to me and said, "You are not the owner of the bank. Why are you doing it now? Why don't you let it undone or someone else does it?" I didn't understand the question, actually. The same way as I'm an owner and manager of the business, I'm feeling the same. I do as good as I can, and this doesn't matter that much of the ownership or management role. And I'm giving my best effort in anything I do. In the partnership, what we have now, this is an interesting story. We have 4 partners, equal partners, when we need to have a consensus. And what helps there is that we have one goal. We have our arguments, disagreements, but we have one goal, and we always find a solution. Most time friendly, sometimes with a small fight, but one goal always helps, and respect towards the other ones, and accepting like we are who we are with our own characteristics and values. Talking about the different work experiences of mine, like a manager and owner, partner, and manager at the same time, I was thinking about the dimension of a woman there. This has not been a dimension for me, like never. I think there is a person there, a woman, a man, tall, young, white or colored. It actually doesn't matter. But as the society places it at the moment, women somewhat have been disadvantaged, or they have not been empowering themselves. It's depends how we look at it. But the society is placing it that the women have to have more of the chance. Let's take opportunity of it. If the opportunity is there, I always think that use it. Not on the disadvantage of the others, but if it's there, take it and grasp it. And when we look around, Estonia has a female prime minister, but look in Scandinavia, in the Baltics, it's women are the ministers. I'm currently even feeling sorry for men, but what to do? Let the time allow it, and it comes back somewhere so that everybody is feeling okay, although I think nobody feels bad. Then about business and life. And the question, is there a difference in business and life? For me, it's difficult to say, because I am the one person to split, like this is business, this is other life. It's different. And it's the integrated part of my life. But what is important doing business, developing yourself, growing your keys, having fun, it's to have the diversified roles in life. Not to be only in one place to do the business, to be with our children. Maybe one short period is needed, but in general, to have the diversified roles in life, this is making yourself more happy, more risk averse, and more potential to further developments. I think it's very important always to align your interests with the other people around you. And here comes also the engagement factor of the happiness and well-being. For me, it's always to enjoy the process, but also the result. Not only the result, not only the process, it has to be in the combination. And it's always about people. Talk to people, understand people. It's also about factfulness. You can assume, but you have to verify it. Is it all true, or is just in your heads or perception? And in life, in business, it's very, very important to just to take action, show up. 90% of success depends on just showing up, and doors open. Then about the challenges, what are there in life, in business, in the world in general, as a woman, as a person. For me, it is all about just showing up, take action. Not don't tell only the words, put your action behind the words. And this takes you further. Just complaining, it doesn't help. It doesn't open new doors, rather it closes the doors. And this factor is about the engagement. Just be open, be engaged, engage the others. Then the challenge is, yes, I mentioned about complaining, but it's the environment which is changing all the time. Be adaptive. Make a plan A, something changes, make another plan A. I like the Schwarzenegger, who once at the conference I was saying, I never have plan B, I make a new plan A. So enjoy your road, be happy about it, even if they are small pieces, enjoy it. And the third about the purpose, it's occasionally you think maybe I would be better without all this junk, because all these things that are difficult, I just go into another world and let it be. I go to another country to live. It's easy. Yeah, probably it's never like that. And what helps me there is I'm thinking, if I don't have this thing, would I be happier? And usually you understand, no. Go ahead, enjoy the road, be happy about it. And I've had several examples from Estonia who have been looking this way, and it has helped them further, even integrate their families into the family business, how to integrate the second generation, for example. Like they're thinking like, should I do the same difficult road as the parents? But if they start thinking, if we don't have this family business, which integrates us as a family, gives the different dimensions, so we are not probably better. And then it's easier to enjoy it and to be engaged and have a purpose. About the future, very shortly, I think to have the different roles in business in place, to have the balance there, and to think about them, even if it's the end of the year, take the time and think about what have been your roles this year in life, and how have you been coping with them? Are you enjoying it? And do they match with your purpose? And then about recommendations, which for me it was easy when I found this, like the 3 dimensions, it fitted very well into my understanding. One recommendation is about enjoyment. Enjoy every single piece of what you do, because the small pieces matter. They make the bigger picture. And if you enjoy, you help the others enjoy as well. You see, if you smile, people smile you back. And somebody has to do the first smile only. And the second is about the purpose. The purpose, for me, it would be like to have the everlasting educational road, everlasting development. But we understand like what has brought us here does not take us further. This is what Estonian previous president, Estonian President Ilves was saying, a famous sentence. And we need to be adaptable. We need to take the opportunities, like let's take the opportunity what the society currently offers for women to go ahead with bigger steps than it was maybe before. And the third, to be engaged, to network, connect the dots, build your own universe. And this is in the whole big picture, personal, family, business. And this is my short summary. My contacts are there, but it's one click anyway for to find. And I'm very glad to see that the next speaker is from HANZA Mechanics. We have common grounds in Estonia. somewhat through real estate. But I was listening to her 1.5 years ago when everybody was in negative mood. And she was giving a very positive interview at that time where everybody was complaining. And I'm very thankful for that. I've been sharing this interview, and maybe there have been several more, but let's enjoy.
Thank you so much, Kristel. And we have received actually one comment over the WorksUp platform. So small steps, big changes in my phrase is my phrase. And this is exactly what the forum is about. It's about change, passing the inspiration, but also passing the word views. So you mentioned Jill McKay. And one of the things Jill really brought out in her webinar and in her book is the fact knowing yourself is the best foundation for the success. So obviously you've done your homework very well, but what is your recommendation for the person who is now watching the forum and participating? And she's like, but I don't know myself. Where shall I start? Where to start?
Talk to people. Open up that I want to do something. I think I'm like that. Do you see me like that as well? Do you see what are my opportunities? And when you start yourself talking, you're already hearing something. And then you get additional dimensions from other people, adding to your own thinking. And this steps by step going, because in isolation, it's difficult.
Thank you. That was a great response. And when I was heading to the webinar room, I brought the candle, and I knew why I brought it now, because it's a gift for you.
Wow.
For the, December, and it's the Estonian producer, and it makes the Christmas really to come along really fast. With no further ado, I will now head over to Emöke Sogenbits, who will share her story about dreaming big and following your dreams. Thank you.
Hello, good morning, everybody. I hope you can hear me, because having had, I don't know, dozens of different softwares for those 2D meetings, as I call them, during the last 2 years, this is still a software which I have never used. So thank you very much for rehearsing in the beginning, because I was kind of confused. Anyway, so I have some slides, but I will not talk about the slides so much, then try to give you some kind of overview about my previous life. So I have had many different jobs, but the current career actually started as a buyer in an international company. And I was quite some years old already by that time, and I thought that I know pretty much about life. And let's say so that the eyes opened when I started to work with the international companies and buying for hundreds of thousands and millions of euros electronic components for mobile phones. And one of the biggest decisions, I think, which changed my life was that I decided to leave Estonia. At that time, it was not that simple at all. You know, it's my generation, you know, leaving the family and going to work abroad. It was quite harsh reaction from many people, including some of the members of the family. Anyway, I still decided to do it. So I was working in Central Europe, a little bit in America, a little bit in Malaysia, a little bit in China for a huge American company. And let's say so that my purpose was to learn through work and to prove to myself if I can manage. So like Kristel was saying, that where to start to learn about yourself, then that was my way to learn about myself. So if I managed to start and succeed in a totally unknown environment, then I can do whatever. And actually, after almost 7 years of working abroad and having a huge amount of fears and tears and sweating and it was blood, sweat and tears time to time. But when I came back, then I would say that I wasn't afraid of anything anymore. When you manage and actually the company made an offer before I left to stay on a totally different conditions, but due to family reasons, then I decided that now it's time to come back. And I came back actually on a totally different level, on a totally different vision. And the good thing is that through this working for many years, and also in the next company, I was working in China for quite a while, and in Central Europe for quite a while. It's easier for me to position my current company also on the global level. So we are not going for something where I know that the global competition is very big, and there are countries which are doing many things much better way, or geographically or on a better location, and so on and so on. And simultaneously, then I started my own company also, which is kind of sleeping just now because I simply don't have time for this. But I was training buyers and supply chain managers. So I can say that I was just, due to renovation at home, I had to put some papers aside, and I see that I have trained more than 300 buyers in Estonia. Now, what we are talking about, so Cluster Baltics, which I'm running, is as of today still two sites. It's Tartu, and it's on the border of Russia in Narva. And altogether we are having, you see now it's Narva is saying 230 employees, but actually we are having 260 already. So altogether it's quite big. And simply just to give you the magnitude of the business. And in addition, I can say that which is my biggest sin in the eyes of very many men. It is that this is all about mechanics and cables and sheet metal and a lot of products. As you see, we are selling a lot of products, and I'm not an engineer. So I have heard actually that the world is upside down if a female non-engineer comes to run this kind of business. And you know what? I have answered that men screw it up royally. So most probably you need a woman to fix it then. And the same thing that it's not about having an easy life or having a fun part all the time, because the profit is very hard to earn, and so on and so on. But what I see in women, and what has been emphasized many times by my dear classmate Marina Kaljurand, who has been running for female president of Estonia last time, is that very often women are too modest. They are, oh, what about me? And I don't know. And maybe I can, maybe I can't. While, a 20-year-old guy with a pink tie comes and slams the salary demand like 3 times higher than you can offer. And when you ask that, what can you offer from your side? Then the answer is like, I have a diploma, and well, I have a diploma. So don't be, and I'm going to brag on this presentation. Don't be too modest. Believe me, we are capable of much more than many of the men assume at any time. So as time is running, then these are some of the products you can imagine. Do you know what this one is? Anybody knows? Anyway, I will answer myself. This is the reverse vending machine. Here you are putting in the bottles and then is crunching and doing whatever with the cans and bottles and so on and so on. We are producing like 200 different parts in order to put this together, plus buying the same amount. So they are extremely complex and extremely high demanding products. So try to explain to me that this is a how is it, low cost country or low value add country, and so on and so on. Try to do it the same way. Then we had a really harsh year. We all know what happened. So we are lacking basically everything. We were lacking even wooden pallets. I don't know why, because they are not in this ship. But believe me, every supplier who has been always failing told that their goods are on this bloody ship. I told that the ship should be the size of Africa already in order to put all the goods what you are saying should be here. And so we are talking about, this is already an official definition, that we are living in the world of VUCA. It is volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. What I can tell to you is that very often in these kind of situations, women have the faster reaction. Women kind of are used to have this kind of multitasking and problems here, problems there. You have to manage with your work, you have to manage with your children, you have to, I don't know, the ones who are coming from the Soviet times, nothing is available, still you have to cook. Or have the children's clothes and so on and so on. So those companies, I would say, which were run by women are having the faster reaction. Just now, it's about fast reactions and decisions. And indecisiveness is the biggest killing factor in this complex and fast changing world. Even bad decisions, everybody knows, even bad decisions are time to time better than no decisions. And this is how our order book is looking like. And this is really real. I didn't draw it myself. It's about, and we are talking about thousands and tens of thousands of euros. So this is how the customers are behaving. I want, no, I don't want. Yes, I want more. No, actually, we are growing. Some customers were growing so high that it didn't fit into my slide anymore. And this is the thing that we caught. Most probably, we were succeeding simply because we caught that, during the time of changes or time of crisis, the changes are the fastest to come. And we were hammering with the suppliers and with the customers that, guys, you cannot move on the same way. You have to change. You have to readapt. Who is going to, all the containers are in wrong place. Who is going to buy cheap from China? There is no more cheap from China existing, and so on and so on. So it's a complex thing, but in this thing, there are two things. First of all, you have to have a really good team, but the bigger the crisis is, the smaller there is space for democracy. Somebody has to take the decisions and be responsible for them. Time for discussion is over. So now it's actually, how would I say, I'm not saying that I'm hammering the table every day and not listening to anybody, but we have a very, very diverse management team. This kind of monolithical management team would be killing. Our people are compensating each other's weaknesses and relying on each other's strengths. So my people are, I know precisely who is weaker or who is stronger. But at the end of the day, when we walk out from the management team meeting, we have to walk the same walk and talk the same talk. And very often, we can vote and we can whatever, but very often it's still, at the end of the day, it's me taking the responsibility, nobody else. So it's a really complex world. But what I wanted to say is that if you see these characteristics of the good leaders, it is actually. It's soft, and like Simon Sinek is saying that there are no soft skills anymore, because soft skills, the so-called soft skills, are becoming the hard currency as of today. You have to have the empathy and the humility. You have to be passionate. And actually, I'm half Hungarian, half Estonian, so my passionate way is a little bit more passionate than average Estonian passionate. So I can explode also the same fast as calm down. But don't kind of be afraid of changes, and be afraid of having the vision. You know, six years ago, when I took over HANZA Baltics, then I called myself, I told that I'm like Martin Luther King. I told, I have a dream. And then everybody was saying, because the factory was losing money and so on and so on, everybody was saying that, you know, your crazy dreams and so on and so on. This is how the Narva factory looked like when I took it over. And this is how it's looking like now. And it was losing money, and we still fought out the funds from the group to shape it up, because nobody wants to come into the factory looking like this. And then everybody was saying that, Emöke, and your dreams and so on and so on. Actually, okay, sorry. And this is what's happening in Tartu. This is the old factory. Kristel, you most probably know where it is. And it's really old, and it's really, we are producing on 3 floors basically, and so on and so on. And this is where we are going to move starting from December. Actually, we are already putting up the warehouses and so on and so on. And just to finish, to encourage you, when you are dreaming, you should get the reward also, because step up, shape up, get out from your comfort zone. And believe me, your dreams are coming true, because positive people are getting positive feedback, attaching positive people, and who are helping you actually to get your dreams ongoing. And this actually, it's not only my dreams, because I don't do it for myself. I'm doing it for 800 people in 2 factories in Estonia. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Emöke, and I will apologize for the technical challenges, because it turned out that when we open the questions and answers, then our sound does not compile. But we've learned from it, and one of the things what was mentioned in Q&A section was the fact that, yes, we one person was referring that please, in your next training, touch upon more deeply about self-awareness, self-encouragement, in order to be more convincing towards others and to have a self-confidence. And I will share my 2 tips in order to give Emöke a little bit time to share her tips, how to increase the self-confidence. My 2 tips, first of all, whenever we have the trainees in our organization, we always ask themselves to write their own recommendation letters. Why? Because we write so many nice letters about someone else. We never do it to ourselves. And it's a powerful exercise, because it's very common when you look for the defaults within yourself and are super critical, and to change the mind towards more positive. The second tip is to make instead of to-do lists, which are never ending many times, I did list. And it's a powerful exercise as well, because you see that you have done so much. Emöke, what are your tips?
Well, it's really hard to say. I have lived a long life enough to know what I'm capable of, and like I just told to my boss who wanted me to do something, and I told that I don't have to prove anything to anybody anymore. But the thing, but the background is really hard self-reflection. Looking into the mirror, and not only for brushing your teeth or making your hair, it's a very hard thing. And as I'm almost 5 days per week away from home, then I have very good hotel rooms where to do it when I on my own, because you cannot be weak in front of your people. You can have your hesitations and weaknesses when you are alone, but by that time you have to step in front of the people. You have to make up your mind, and it is about self-analysis. I'm not a psychologist and so on, but a very honest list of the pluses and minuses is kind of always helping. And in addition, I would say that through my whole life, maybe I have one or two those kind of sparring partners with whom I can exchange not only the ideas but the emotions, the reasoning, and so on. Also, this kind of partner you have to have who is very, very honest, and you cannot get mad at that person if he or she is saying that I think that this is stupid. And that's it. It's honesty, and it's about not underestimating, but also not overestimating your own powers. Because I have also a family, and I have many challenges in the family. But the fact that we have been for 39 years married with my husband is already saying that we are able to find compromises. Usually it's my thought, of course. Thank you.
Thank you, Emöke.
Thank you very much.
It's a great food for thought. And with no further ado, we will have a short break so you can stretch yourself, can get yourself a coffee or a tea or whatever drink you prefer. And we will be showing you a video made by and for the employees of Swedbank Estonia. So you don't even have to think what kind of stretching exercises you need to do, but these are shown over the break as well. And we meet here again already in 7 minutes time. See you soon.
Jah, jumala õige. Kuule, aga davai, lähme tagasi siis. Olge. Ai, oota. Oota, Martin, aitäh.
Tiina, COVID-19, 2+2, mina sind küll katsuda ei taha, aga ma võin sulle näidata, mida sa oleksid võinud teha. Kui sa oled kodus, siis sul on kõige olulisem treeningvahend olemas. Tool. Istu tooli peale, kallista oma põlve. Kui põlv on eriti ilus, siis võib tõmmata seda kõrgemale. Kui nii väga ei meeldi, siis võib olla madalamalt. Ja tee seda 10, 20, 30 korda. Ja natuke võiksid hoida ka. Kui sa seda oled teinud, istu sirgelt tooli peale, vii õlad alla taha ja siis hakka kaaluma. Proovi panna sõrmed ühelt poolt vastu maad, siis teiselt poolt vastu maad. Ühelt poolt maad, teiselt poolt vastu maad. Ja tee seda ka näiteks 10-20 korda või täpselt nii mitu korda, kui perearst või otsene juht sulle seda soovitas. Too 2 kätt kokku, ükskõik rusikad, sõrmsiong ja proovi tuua küünarnukk ja vastaspõlve omavahel kokku. Kas kummardades ette või kui tahad, siis tõsta põlve või tõsta teist. Tee seda ka 10-20 korda. Istu. Vastaskäsi läheb jala peale, teine käsi võtab seljatoest, siis pööra ja vaata. Kujuta ette, et sa oled teatris, 1-2 riida tagapool keegi köhis, heidad talle kurja pilgu. Kujuta ette, et köhija on teisel pool, vaatad üle teise õla, vaatad uuesti seda köhijat. Seda sa võiksid natuke aega hoida, mitte kiirelt teha, aga üks selline 20-40 sekundit hoiad, väga mõnus venitus. Too üks jalg risti, suru põlve allapoole ja hakka vajuma ülakehast ette, nii et rindkere tuleb sääre poole. Nii alla kui saad. Või nii kui jalg ette tuleb. Tee sama teisega. Vaju jälle allapoole. Väga hea. Raputa käed jalad. Siis sa võiksid teha näiteks nii, et kui sul on telefon või telekapult, paned selle maha, võtad ülesse. Isiklik aeg.
Jah, jumala õige. Kuule, aga davai, lähme tagasi siis.
Lähme.
Olgu. Ai, oota. Oota, Martin, aitäh.
Tiina, COVID-19, 2+2, mina sind küll katsuda ei taha, aga ma võin sulle näidata, mida sa oleksid võinud teha. Kui sa oled kodus, siis sul on kõige olulisem treeningvahend olemas, tool. Istu tooli peale, kallista oma põlve. Kui põlv on eriti ilus, siis võib tõmmata seda kõrgemale. Kui nii väga ei meeldi, siis võib olla madalamalt ja tee seda 10, 20, 30 korda ja natuke võiksid hoida ka. Kui sa seda oled teinud, istu sirgelt tooli peale, vii õlad alla taha ja siis hakka kaaluma. Proovi panna sõrmed ühelt poolt vastu maad, siis teiselt poolt vastu maad. Ühelt poolt maad, teiselt poolt vastu maad. Ja tee seda ka. Näiteks 10-20 korda või täpselt nii mitu korda, kui perearst või otsene juht sulle seda soovitas. Too 2 käed kokku, ükskõik rusikad, sõrmseong ja proovi tuua küünarnukk ja vastaspõlve omavahel kokku. Kas kummardades ette või kui tahad, siis tõsta põlve või tõsta teist. Tee seda ka 10-20 korda. Istu. Vastaskäsi läheb jala peale, teine käsi võtab seljatoest, siis pööra ja vaata. Kujuta ette, et sa oled teatris, 1-2 riida tagapool keegi köhis, heidad talle kurja pilgu. Kujuta ette, et köhija on teisel pool, vaatad üle teise õla, vaatad uuesti seda köhijat. Seda sa võiksid natuke aega hoida, mitte kiirelt teha, aga üks selline 20-40 sekundit hoiad, väga mõnus venitus. Too üks jalg risti, suru põlve allapoole ja hakka vajuma ülakehast ette, nii et rindkere tuleb sääre poole. Nii alla kui saad. Või nii kui jalg ette tuleb. Tee sama teisega. Vaju jälle allapoole. Väga hea. Raputa käed jalad. Siis sa võiksid teha näiteks nii, et kui sul on telefon või telekapult, paned selle maha, võtad ülesse, teise kätte ja paned teisele poole. Võtad ülesse, teise kätte ja paned teisele poole. Tee seda ka nii kaua, kuni sul järgmine Skype või siis Teamsi telko kestab. Lisaks füüsilisele ära unustada ära oma vaimset tervist. Tee väike meditatsioon, eriti pärast näiteks seda, kui su ülemus on suga just rääkinud. Pane silmad kinni, kujuta ette, et sa oled õues, hinga sisse ja lase tuulel paitada oma põski. Ja siis võid hakata algusest tegema. Kallistad põlve, kallistad teist põlve, ühesõnaga pane see video algusesse ja vaata algusest.
Welcome back. I think you never realize how fast 7 minutes can be. And I do hope that you had the chance to take a look to the wonderful video about the stretching as well. It did not play in the beginning properly, but then we fixed it. This is how the virtual forums are made of. During test, everything goes well. And then once it's live, things change. But we heard Estonia, but it's Estonia-Georgia Female Entrepreneurship Forum. So of course, we could not go without hearing the stories from a Georgian side. So super happy and super honored to have Nino Suknidze with us telling her entrepreneurship story. Nino, the screen is all yours.
Hello, thank you very much. I hope you have had time to stretch. I love the video, by the way, especially the angry look stretching one. So I hope you've got that one on your stretching routine. So my name is Nino. Currently, I would like to welcome you on behalf of the Georgian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, because I have the privilege of being the vice president of the chamber. But I, of course, present my personal story here and my other roles as well. But again, thank you very much for organizing this event, for giving us an opportunity to network. I would like to thank everyone who made this event possible, and of course, all of the participants who have cut out time from their busy schedules to attend. Now, you're on the screen. You're seeing my favorite quote from U.S. Supreme Court Justice who recently died, and who probably was idol for many lawyers like myself. And what I love about this quote is that basically it solves everything. Because if women are in all places where decisions are being made, I think everything will be okay. And meaning that balanced decision making and balanced view on various things, including entrepreneurship and business, I think is the key. And recent developments show us that this is becoming more and more the case. Now, to be absolutely honest, I didn't know what I should talk about at today's forum, because the people who attend, I was wondering why would they would be interested in my personal entrepreneurship story. So I tried to come up with certain topics like beliefs that helped me and beliefs that I thought were obstacles during my life. So I will go into them very briefly in a couple of minutes. Now, this slide shows basically my current roles. My main role is a managing partner of a law firm. I'm a certified attorney. I established a law firm about a year ago, and until then, I was working in Georgian offices of international law firms like Aide Tõnts, Georgia, and DLA Piper, Georgia. Now I'm on my own and trying to expand, of course, our business with colleague lawyers, obviously. My other role is Vice President of Georgian Chamber of Commerce and Industry. It has been almost a year since I've been in this role. Very recently, I was appointed as a member of the supervisory board of TBC Bank Group, which is a leading banking group in Georgia. I'm also a member of the board at Care Caucasus, which is an NGO. Last but not least, I'm a mother of my 13-year-old daughter, Mariam. Now, I was actually smiling when I was adding this role to this list, because I usually don't add this role to this list, but I believe that that's probably one of the most important roles that I currently have, especially because she's currently a teenager. So I think that if it's not on the top of the list, at least it should be at the bottom of the list as one of my roles. I mentioned also a couple of past roles. As I mentioned, I used to work at a law firm in various positions, and I also was a general counsel of Bank of Georgia, another leading bank in Georgia. We have two major banks. So I had the privilege of working as a general counsel at one of them and being a supervisory board member of the other one. It was quite challenging to come up with the topics with topics to talk to you, because I mean, is it an entrepreneurial story? It is definitely a story which I'd like to call a success story. Since I'm here, I'm just going to share with you a couple of findings that I found on my way to getting where I am today. The first topic is what beliefs helped me. And I think there are a couple of beliefs that come from my family, which helped me a lot, and which I also try to, teach to my daughter, especially because she's a girl and going to be a woman. That is, I can do anything if I try hard enough. And I need to be, the best in class and workplace, and you name it. That's basically a fault of my grandma, who was saying that I should be best at everything I do, which of course then resulted into perfectionism, which was kind of challenging throughout my life. But now at this age where I can differentiate between what's perfectionism and what's challenging and problematic, and what is the things that I should really concentrate on and do the best I can. I think this belief and value has helped me a lot during my life, in everything I do, in being a mother, in being a lawyer, in being a, supervisor board member, being a general counsel, or just being a human being. Now, one thing that also helped me is that if I fail, I need to continue trying. And there's always a 50% chance of success. And if I don't achieve it, then at least I will know that I have tried my best. That helps me personally very much, because as I'm sure, as most of you have experienced this, guilty feeling of, have I done enough? Should I have done this way or another way? Which is, personal insecurities and fears that come up a lot of the times. So I think the way I get over my fear and insecurity is that if I feel that I've done everything I could to achieve the goal, and if it's still not achievable, then I'm perfectly fine with whatever the result is. One of the things that probably helped me, which is I don't think is entirely healthy, but because of the culture that I live in, and that may be different from the Estonian culture, because the speakers that I listened to, I was very glad to hear that being a woman was not a dimension that they had to consider, which is amazing, and which is, I think, where we should all be trying to get, where being a woman or a man is not a dimension that we take into account. Unfortunately, I have to say that this is not the case where I am right now, which is we sometimes have to prove that we're not less than men, which, at times it's not healthy, but at times it helps in achieving what you want to achieve, because you try harder. If you have to prove something, obviously you try harder. And because of the culture that I was raised in, despite the fact that my family was not a part of this culture in that sense, so they always promoted in my studies, my personal development, my professional development, and so on and so forth. But I still had that feeling that no one should think that someone will be better than me just because he's a man, which again, I have to admit, maybe it's not healthy, but it helps sometimes to achieve things that you want to achieve. Again, my hope is that in the next few generations to come, gender will not be a dimension that we have to take into account at all, which I think we should all aim for. Some of the other things that helped, and also speakers talked about soft skills becoming very important, and I completely agree with that statement. Soft skills are becoming more and more important, and women, most of the women, I should say, not to be stereotypical, have soft skills, which is empathy, negotiation skills, understanding the other people's positions and where they're coming from. And this, of course, helps in understanding the situation, reading the situation of the people. And I think we should nurture those skills as much as possible because we have them already, and these are very helpful. Now, some of the beliefs I wish I had. One of them is a major one, that the failure is okay, that mistake is an opportunity, and it's a growth opportunity. And that I should not worry about every mistake I make. I should accept it and forgive myself, which is very important. And that failure or mistake doesn't make me less capable or less valuable or less of a person. I mean, this again, personal insecurity that I needed to overcome over years. And if I was taught that failure is okay and mistake is an opportunity from the very beginning in my life, I think I would be just a happier person throughout my life and not worry about all the mistakes that I made along the way. Another thing, belief that I wish I had was that I can, was less self-doubt, higher self-esteem, and the I can do attitude. Our previous speakers mentioned again that women, again, mostly, not to be stereotypical, the women I meet are more hesitant, more risk averse. They need more time to think about certain decisions. And I think we all need to adopt a more I can do this attitude, because again, failure is okay, mistake is okay, and I can do this attitude gets a lot of things done and helps us along the way. And one final belief that I wish I had obtained earlier was that I will be okay no matter what. This is also very important and linked to this fear of failure that all humans have. If we develop the belief that we will be okay no matter what, all the decisions become much easier. All risk-taking activities become slightly easier. We start a business easier, and we make certain decisions in that business about expansion and so on easier. And I think this I can do this attitude and I will be okay no matter what attitude is very useful and has helped me a lot. Again, I wish I had developed that earlier in my life. Next topic is what obstacles I had along the way. One of them I already mentioned is natural self-doubt. I mean, can I really do this? Maybe someone else could do this better. Like, for instance, should I agree to speak at this forum, or do I really have anything to say to these people who will be at this forum? And things like that. The natural self-doubt. Sometimes, of course, it's good because you're humble, but sometimes it gets in the way because you let go of opportunities that you should have used. So this natural self-doubt has to be controlled and limited as much as possible, at least in my case. Now, one of the major obstacles that I've come across was that we are afraid to ask for different standards sometimes, like for instance at work, because the workplace is designed for single men, not even for married men, because it's designed for men or women who have nothing else in their lives except working. And this work environment, of course, is not very healthy for anyone other than single people who have no hobbies and no friends. So in order to adapt to this environment, we have difficulties. I mean, and sometimes because we want to feel equal and because we are equal, but we want to prove that we are equal, sometimes we don't ask for certain things that we need. And this natural reserved attitude sometimes gets also in the way. Like, for instance, I need to reschedule this call because I have a commitment, let's say, I don't know, to put my daughter to sleep. And it's very difficult to articulate that in an environment which does not recognize that there are other things to do besides work. So I think we have to be more proactive and also stating what our needs are. In general, it's not women or men. It's everyone should try to be more proactive in stating their needs, because the other party may just not be unaware of those needs. And one of the things that I also have had difficulty with was double standards and stereotypes, because sometimes women are viewed as either too soft, which makes them bad leaders in certain people's opinions, or too aggressive if they try to adopt more masculine traits. I mean, masculine, I put them in square parentheses, obviously. So it's very difficult. I mean, you either are too soft if you're smiling and if you're friendly, or too aggressive if you act like or use like a more masculine traits. And these stereotypes are detrimental for both men and women, because it make us fit into certain stereotypes while we may want to act completely differently. So I think this is one of the things that we have to be aware of on a society level, and just be ourselves in every situation, and not try to fit in the stereotypes of what it means to be a woman or what it means to be a man. I think it would help our relationships both at work and in every other aspect of our lives. I know that I'm running out of time, so when I talk about some habit that we need to change, I will just recommend one book that has been has made a profound effect on me. It's called How Women Rise, and it's about break the 12 habits holding you back. It's very interesting because it has two authors, man and a woman. So it's a very balanced approach to what there are habits that hold women back. And just to give you an idea, there are a couple of habits. Like, for instance, most women talk in we. So we say that we achieved something, we did this, we got this or that done. Whereas this means that we are reluctant to claim our achievements, and we're expecting that someone will just notice our achievement without us mentioning it and without self-promotion. So one of the things that I learned from this book was that I need to self-promote more, and I need to be less reluctant in claiming my own achievements, and change we to I sometimes when it's needed. Another advice from this book that I got was the perfection trap. That while it's healthy to want to do things well, sometimes the perfectionism makes us concentrate on details too much, and makes us lose the big picture of, let's say, the importance of the relationships, the importance of the networking, and so on. So I would highly recommend this book to every woman and man, because it helps us understand each other. All of the habits that are mentioned there, at least 11 out of 12 I found to be relevant, and I think that this is very informative to understand what are some of the habits that hold us back. Two points that I wanted to make. As I mentioned, although I have thought about gender dimension a lot, one thing that bothers me sometimes in when we're talking about certain activities or I don't know, certain outlets that are focused on women, sometimes it bothers me. For instance, when I appear on the cover of Forbes Woman, does it mean that I'm not good enough to appear on the cover of Forbes? So sometimes I think the people who are involved in activities promoting women, their entrepreneurship, their skills, and so on, need to be aware of that particular aspect. Sometimes we need to promote women in the same outlets where the men are promoted, and not create separate outlets, which makes it difficult to understand. Why is there a separate, let's say, magazine? And I love Forbes magazine, and I'm sure I'm sorry to mention this here. I love Forbes Woman. I have been on its cover. I'm just saying that sometimes it makes me feel less than, which of course women have tried to overcome this feeling. Those women who have had this feeling because of their cultures. So it's not good to create separate outlets for women, and I think we need to integrate this as much as possible. I also understand the need to promote, inspire each other. So maybe that's why these separate outlets are good to have for a certain period of time, to inspire other women and to make sure that everyone knows that certain things are achievable, and being a woman is not an obstacle. But I think it should be very temporary. And one other thing that I wanted to mention, and it will be my last note, is that related to this topic, is that I was not sure that I wanted to support quotas, like quotas in parliament, quotas in management boards, supervisory boards, and so on. But then after having worked in close proximity with management boards and supervisory boards, I decided that some kind of quota is a must for transitional period. I am willing to be, I'm willing to be uncomfortable with someone thinking that I may have been appointed to a board because of my gender, as long as 100 years from now, gender is no longer a dimension at all. So in the transition period, I think it's a good thing to allow women to be represented more, because it will be beneficial for the entire society, all of the businesses, all of the public sector entities, and just society in general. So this is why I changed my mind about quota. My personal comfort of not feeling less than at the moment when I'm appointed to the board is okay, as long as 100 years from now, gender is no longer a dimension at all. So on these positive notes, I would like to end. I can't believe I talked for so many minutes while I didn't know what I was going to talk about. So thank you for listening. And if I inspired with anything I said at least one person, I would be very happy. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nino. And my tip for going through the perfection trap is very easy. Done is better than perfect. 5 words, and it's really empowering, because sometimes I'm doing a social media post and I'm like looking for just a nice photo and you can't find it. And then I'm doing done is better than perfect, and I put the non-perfect photo. Does anybody say, oh, the photo looks crap? No, because it's not about the photo, it's about the message you're giving. And the same, luckily we don't have this Forbes women nor Forbes in Estonian, but what I've noticed and what I've also told to the sales agents of women magazines is like, women magazines don't put the female business leaders on their covers. We have actresses, we have singers, we have just drama queens. And I said it to the lady who was selling me the magazine, until you don't put the businesswoman on a cover, I will not order your magazine. And I haven't ordered because they just don't do it. And these are the things that, yes, in 100 years' time will be changed. But until this time, we can make our conscious choices. Thank you again, Nino. We have to move on with another Nino, because the time is always scarce for every human being. The time is always limited. Nino Enukidze will be speaking about the inspiration. Where does it come from? And what are the roots? I'm very curious, and I have my notepad and my notes papers already ready for you. Nino, the screen is all yours.
Thank you so much. Hello, everyone, dear colleagues, participants of the forum. It's really my pleasure to attend this event and be a speaker alongside with these wonderful, inspiring representatives from Estonia and Georgia. I found every speech really interesting and inspiring. I would highlight the previous speakers' messages regarding the self-confidence and using the word we instead of I, which I'm always doing. And I have never noticed it. So really good point. And it's something we all have to think about. As I'm willing to discuss the roots of inspiration for women entrepreneurs, let me start with the very brief history of coding school for women, which, as I represent Business and Technology University, I want to tell you a very short story about the university, how we came up to launching the coding school for women 3 years ago. And what our inspiration was, we were gathering and analyzing the gender-related data regarding the undergraduate programs at the university, and found that only 18% of girls had chosen IT as their future career path. We decided to dive deeper and take a look at country statistics, and this is when we found out that an annual average of women graduates on IT programs is about 20%, not more. This is very sad, because even though deep tech and technology itself is revolutionizing every industry across the world and entrepreneurial activities across the world, women are very much underrepresented in this field. And this is not a problem in Georgia, but this is more or less a problem everywhere across the world. There is less differences in statistics in European countries, but women still face these challenges. So when we took a look at entrepreneurial activities of women in Georgia, we saw the same picture. We see that the majority of women which are aged about starting from 30, 38 up to 60 years old who do these entrepreneurial activities are mostly concentrated in capital. They have less access to finances. There are different societal norms that prevent them from starting entrepreneurial activities. There are some researches conducted by, for example, EPRC, who shows that only 29% of registered enterprises are owned by women in Georgia. So lack of access to financial resources is one of the main challenges that women entrepreneurs are facing, again, not only in Georgia, but across the world. Therefore, in terms of savings, and access to additional capital, there are less resources available for women, which is why it's much harder for us to get bank loans or invest certain capital into enterprises. And the global pandemic has also had a significant impact on women's participation in entrepreneurial activities. So I think that we all agree that starting a new business is an exercise in optimism, right? So as it's also an emotional investment. So those starting any businesses are inclined to look on the brighter side. We can all take certain actions to support this optimistic approach of women to start their new businesses in COVID times and face these challenges. This was one of the reasons we have launched not only the coding school for women, which later was very much supported by UN Women, by governmental entities, by all the international organizations operating here in Georgia. We have several thousand beneficiaries within the coding school. And the idea is to not only teach coding, but also to educate them, give them this digital literacy, which will further help them, their entrepreneurial activities, right? So, and the same is happening here at the Entrepreneurship Center, which operates at Business and Technology University, which gives a certain quotation to female beneficiaries with regards to whatever activities we might be doing. So let's say that we know that motivations for those starting the entrepreneurial activity varies between economies, but we might still find some similar patterns, like building great wealth or a very high income, or at least earning a living to be independent, right? Or making a difference in the world, which is a big inspiration for many entrepreneurs. So these we might highlight as major motivator factors. So to get back to the roots of inspiration, I might share a couple of ideas and practices how we can all address these challenges. First of all, I want to highlight the education. Educating next generation of women entrepreneurs in STEM subjects like science, engineering, technology, maths, as early as possible is very important. We are we are in 21st century. We all know that it's of crucial importance to increase the digital literacy skills among women, as there are fewer and fewer businesses across the world than can be developed on a larger scale without using certain technology. So if we want to support entrepreneurial activities of women, we have to understand that we have to educate them in tech. And this is very important thing. The second thing is that we can support doing research and these academic activities to measure the effectiveness of companies founded by women and raise awareness about the success of these kind of entities. For example, we have a very good case while almost 200 countries were researched, which were led by men and women dealing with COVID-19. And we saw that the analysis showed that among these 200 countries, the countries which were led by women, like Germany, like New Zealand, like Denmark, Taiwan, I think it was Finland also, they quite well succeeded in the process of being proactive and coordinating the policy responses with regards to COVID-19. So this was a very inspiring case for me personally, and my idea was that why not support the research to see how entrepreneurial entities led by women are succeeded, and why not disseminate this information on a wider audience and inspire other women to start their entrepreneurial activities, right? Other thing is that we, and me personally, work very intensively with different VC funds and financial institutions, working with them to expand dedicated funding programs for women entrepreneurs, to ease an access to finance, which is really a big challenge for women, is an important thing to do. We, as a university and as an entity having the Entrepreneurship Center, we are doing this. But I think that if it will be done on an international level, including all the businesses and governmental entities, we will have much greater impact on the industry. And last but not least is that supporting media and digital campaigns to do more storytelling, inspiring young generation, promoting women-friendly networks maybe is a very important thing, and we should try not to underestimate the power of media and especially digital media while we are trying to inspire women to start their entrepreneurial activities. For example, European governments have multiple policy options to improve flexibility and even infrastructure to facilitate women's entrepreneurship, including improved childcare and parental leave, lower taxes, for example, on small businesses, and interventions to increase loan approval rates for women applicants. We can start investing in childcare facilities, for example, that will be easily accessible for women entrepreneurs. Maybe provide some tax relief to organizations investing in childcare facilities, or I don't know, generate other ideas to address these challenges. So either way, I strongly believe that networking and international partnerships for greater good might be powerful tool, and however you might envision the joint activities to support inspiring women entrepreneurs, we are ready to collaborate. So I was very interested to look at the further networking facilities and the tools you have on your platform, which I will be happy to use, because I'm really looking for expanding our partnership and finding people who believe in our ideas to do something interesting together. So thank you very much for your attention. Thanks again for inviting me, and I want to share my gratitude to all the speakers for these wonderful, inspiring stories. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Nino. And I have a question regarding the coding initiative. What is the main feedback that you have received from the ladies? Because you mentioned there are thousands of them who have gone through the program.
It's a very good question, to be honest. When we first launched the coding school for women, we did it on an International Women's Day on March 8th. And with the launching event, we visited every rural area of Georgia. We visited every region of the country, trying to promote and campaign the idea. We met the girls, we met their families, and we tried to explain what was the reason why they should choose coding and IT as their future careers. And the reactions were at some point were quite aggressive, to be honest. For example, from families saying that technology is not something to be chosen by a girl and it's a male profession, and don't say this, it's March 8th, and take flowers in your head and go and take a rest. This was comments I personally received like hundreds and hundreds of times, which was why we decided that we have to invest more in these activities. And this problem is of a bigger challenge than we envisioned it to be. And this was where we addressed UN Women. We asked for their support, as they have very big experience in facing these challenges. We became a web signature company, which is Women Empowerment Principles, which covers UN countries, and we received a quite good expertise, which is why the number, for example, at Business and Technology University today, the number of female students on IT program is up to 35%. We started from 18. So we have quite good result, but it's not about BTU, it's about country. So we try to expand this number. We collaborate with USAID and other international organizations supporting us. And we have several thousand candidates and beneficiaries who not only learn how to code, but also use this knowledge to start their entrepreneurial activities, to launch their startups, go on an international level. So, so far so good.
Great to hear. And actually, when we were setting up the Estonia-Georgian female entrepreneurship project, we found out about the women empowerment principles by the UN. And now we have signed it as well. We are looking for our final confirmation, but we have passed all the information. And that's the power of networks. There are some amazing initiatives, but the time frame and the information what you take in is limited. So we were first introduced by the Georgian Chamber of Commerce, and then as we are part of the Eurochamber's Women Network, it was introduced over there as well. And this was a moment when I knew that we need to take action. And in Estonia, there's something similar for the coding school, but the difference is that it's not powered by UN, but it's powered by our own startup owners, the ones who have now created the unicorns, the money for the next generations. And we just 2 weeks ago, we had an event about women in ICT sector, but it was really inspiring to hear your story and to hear how fast you can actually move from low percentage of women in technology to a much higher. And this really shows that it's possible if you put the focus on it. So many thanks, Nino. And we have now our last speaker, and then you have time for networking and questions. So if you have questions or you have comments what you would like to share, then please use the opportunities what the platform WorksUp is giving you and allowing you. LinkedIn and tools to widen your business network. This is a topic we wanted to end this forum today, because as the world has moved to digital, we just have to take advantage what is there to succeed. So Aide Tõnts, the floor is all yours.
Hello, everybody. So my name is Aide Tõnts, and thank you so much. You already mentioned, or earlier speakers already mentioned the networking. And this is something we can't live without, because it's all about human beings. It's all about our connections with each other. This is how we get the ideas and share the ideas. So I'm Estonian. I'm living in Finland, working for Estonian public company. Enterprise Estonia, helping Estonian companies to actually enter to Finnish market. So I have been now almost 15 years here in Finland, and I'm also very long time have been working with Finnish women entrepreneurs, have been a member of the board of Finnish Women Entrepreneurs Association. Also, I'm a keynote speaker and one of the supervisory board members in one of the biggest insurance company here in Finland. So a lot to do and a lot of fun. Have been living in or working almost in 7 countries. So and mainly with consumer goods. So you can see from some of the brands, maybe they are familiar for you too. So I don't know, I think most of you have already your profile in LinkedIn. Is it so? At least I found quite many of you there and sent you the connection request too. So thank you all of you who accepted me there. But I think we all have some expectations to networking and some expectations to digital networking. And sometimes our expectations, at least for Estonians, are quite quick. We would like to quickly forward with our connections and get some benefits out of that. And in LinkedIn, there is huge opportunities nowadays. And I have to say that LinkedIn have changed so much during this COVID time that it's absolutely different. So if you visited LinkedIn maybe 2 years ago, go again and find it again, because LinkedIn as a platform have changed so much and people use it in a different manner. Actually, in my book, which was about the networking, or which is about networking, I talked about LinkedIn too. And right now, I would like to take out of these pages and write it again, but it's in a paper, so I can't do that. But as you see, there are many people in LinkedIn, and mainly the decision makers. So there is definitely place to be active there. And I also I'm aware that yes, in internet it happens so much, and in different regions we have so many different platforms. So where should I be? And for me, professionally, I'm always in LinkedIn, and personally, I'm in Facebook. I know that in many countries, even there is a difference between even Estonia and Finland, that Estonians are more in Facebook, and even business contacts will send you sometimes friend request in Facebook, which is totally like maybe not that acceptable anymore in Finland, because in Finland we separated quite sharply that business contacts in LinkedIn and all the cat and dog pictures are in Facebook nowadays. So in order to get any like system out of this internet world, of course we have to concentrate, and we have to concentrate our time. This is my picture about my day and my thoughts, and there are so many things going on right now in my head, and really without any system, without any structure, it's very easy to lose your time, to lose your attention, and actually not to do anything beneficial. So you need the systems, you need systems to follow in order to manage and in order to get some results out of this networking there. What are the 5, in my opinion, 5 more most important things when you go to LinkedIn? There is a content, of course, conversions, positioning, PR, and network. So what I mean by these words, is positioning, for example. Who am I? I know that for myself, sometimes it's not so clear because I'm a public speaker. I train companies, I train executives to network, because networking might be something you think, oh, it's easy. I go to the party and I talk with some people, but actually it's not. It's very, very difficult to people to talk with each other, to start the conversations, even in a live version. And at the same time, I'm expert advisor for Enterprise Estonia. So I have to find out how do I balance my unique value proposition, this UVP? Who am I? And which information I'm giving out? How would I like to be remembered? Because these people who are in my network, or maybe will share my ideas, my posts, how do they remember me? So I think this is the one thing I ask you to think. How would you like to be remembered? And this is a very nice place to position you. How would you like to be remembered? So when you start about contact, yes, Piret already said that these 5 things that better just to do it. It's especially when you activate yourself in the beginning. It's maybe, yes, I want to be. I want to write very sophisticated, very smart, very, I don't know, mind-blowing posts. But actually, it is not the main thing to be overly sophisticated and overly, I don't know, smart. Just be yourself, write something. And when you write some posts, think about first sentence, or maybe the second sentence. If the first sentence is boring, they will not open your posts. And the same goes with your company. So I'm asked also sometimes that, oh, share our company's information there. And then I think that, should I? Because if this is just an advertisement, social media is not just for advertisement. You have to give some added value or some interesting point of view, and you have to do it very quickly within your first sentence, because otherwise we scroll down the screen and we don't notice you. So be very clear that you post something and think about that shorter is better. I don't have time or let's say my boss years ago said that 17 rows is absolutely maximum for email. I don't read longer ones. And actually nobody does. And nobody will read your very long posts. So you rather cut it into 3. If you see that my post is very, very long, just put one idea and text around it. Not 3 or 5 or 6 ideas, just one idea. And maybe after 2 hours or maybe tomorrow, you will put the other idea. So that's why you get, or this way you get much more attention and much more reactions. Okay, and once is not enough. I put some pictures me with some of the ex-presidents or ex-Finnish presidents. And why I'm saying that once is not enough. They say that when you meet a person, you have to see in live version at least 3 times same person in order to remember this person. And if you work with very high-level executives or high-level businessmen, it's even more than three times you need to meet before this actual person knows who are you. In digital networking, it's even more challenging. Maybe it's even 50 or maybe it's even 70 times he have to see your posts, you being active or maybe commenting. And why I'm saying commenting, not liking, because liking it's not a currency anymore in nowadays. Don't think that if you put this or that or whatever hearts, it's enough. It's not enough. When you want to really make an impact and when you want somebody to notice you, write please a very friendly comment. Do not put those. It's better than nothing, but it's still nothing. So use your time wisely, write a short comment, very positive one. This way, these people maybe remember you, and that's good for you. Okay, PR. Yes, personal brand is much more important than years ago. Years ago, we were maybe talking, let's say in Finland, we were employees of Nokia, and that was already a big thing. Nowadays, we have to build up our own personal brand. Why? Because our, let's say one example, my father was working in the same factory over 20 years. I don't know anybody in my age, and I'm 50, I'm not 70 yet, I'm 50. I don't know anybody who have been in the same workplace 20 years. And that means that sometimes we have to in future do the public sector work. I also have a company next to my public sector work, which I'm using when I'm doing my speaker or my trainings. So think about it. In order to manage it all, you need to promote yourself in a different way than maybe 10 years ago or 5 years ago. And by doing your personal PR, LinkedIn is a perfect place. Because first of all, LinkedIn is still much better in organic visibility than, for example, Facebook. They are still more eager to share your posts. You don't have to pay that much, or not even a single penny. And by being professionally known in LinkedIn, it also helps you to increase the demand of your services or your own brand. You can ask higher price because people know you. You can price yourself or your services or your company services higher, and it's also free advertisement. Okay, free is maybe not the word because you still need to put some time on it, or maybe some other resources, some graphic designers maybe use, but still it's quite cheap compared to other medias to use. Okay, here is one screenshot from my LinkedIn. Here you can see by being regularly active, you can increase your visibility really a lot. And this is the regularity. Every day, it's like a hygiene. It doesn't help you that you take a shower like on Mondays or on Fridays only. You have to do it every day. And this is the same way with the social media and LinkedIn networking. You have to do it every day, or even maybe not every day, but every single day. But it have to be regular. Because as soon as you forget it, LinkedIn will forget you, and people will forget you. And that's so try to be regularly post something, maybe plan ahead some things you can post, or at least go and see what people are posting in your network and try to comment them nicely. So that will also increase your visibility. Conversions. Yeah, I know this is one of the biggest challenges in social media and in networking, that yes, I'm networking, and it's not only digital issue or challenge. It's the same in like live versions, that I need so many people, but my business is still not growing. So you need to think how to do the conversion between your network or LinkedIn profile and your company. Think about how easily they can find you. Do you have all the links ready? If they click to the links, because in my profile, you can now see one of my projects, which is actually on hold. And I know when you go to my profile about, and you click this, you can't buy my product. I try to do it as soon as possible, fix it, but it's still, I don't have this conversion right now, and that's not okay, because people have, when I'm interested of you, I see that, oh, you are so interesting, I would like to cooperate with you or with your company. I go to your profile and I have to find you. I have to really quickly, in 1 or 3 seconds, to find you, to click to some other world where I can find you, either your phone number or maybe your homepage. And not only homepage, maybe I would like to even buy your product immediately. So make sure that people can be converted, or their desires can be converted very quickly from your LinkedIn page to your own or company page. Okay, networking. This is definitely my favorite topic, and it hurts every time I have to take some slides away. But yes, LinkedIn is a perfect place to network. I will give you one example. I was reading one article about China. I don't operate. My business is not yet. I don't operate in China, but still, I was reading one article. And in China mainland, LinkedIn is the only Western social media they can use there. So that's interesting fact. So I was continuing reading, and I found out that there are two key players: the CEO of LinkedIn China and the marketing director. And I was thinking that interesting. They are LinkedIn people. So what if I will send them the contact request? And I just wanted to test if these people will accept me into their network, because they must be very, very valuable people if this kind of big market and big company like LinkedIn will hire them. So I thought about how I will approach them, why I'm approaching them, who am I, why. And then I sent the request, contact request, with a note. So when you are approaching people outside of your maybe own country and you don't have any common contacts, then always use the personal note. Why? Who are you and why are you contacting them? And I said honestly that I would just like to follow up your professional success story. So what do you think? Do they accepted me, or how many of those two accepted which one? Yeah, both of them. So both of them are now in my LinkedIn. I can follow up their news. I can also see their network, because many people have and that is one thing I ask you to check in your settings in LinkedIn. Please check if your settings are put in a way that all people can see your network, then change it for security reasons. And to secure your network, change it that your network can see your people in your network. So this way, all the spammers or people you don't want to dig into your network cannot see with whom you are connected, but only your connections. So just change it if it's still open to everybody. And one thing also, I always say to people that change in your LinkedIn profile that people also viewed. I don't know which view you have, but when you open the LinkedIn, usually it's in a left, down in the right, that people viewed. And if it's your company page, take it off this option, because otherwise LinkedIn will suggest all your competitors there, and you don't want it. You don't want that someone will go to your page or your personal page and then all your competitors' similar profiles are there. So just take it out. But yes, throughout the life, there are different researches, but more or less 20 to 50,000 people we will meet during our lives. Okay, COVID have been maybe decreased this number, but still, it's a huge stadium. And now think that you need to greet every single one of them. For me, I'm quite introverted person. It's very difficult for me. It is challenging for me to go and speak with strangers still when I'm teaching it. It's still not natural. And I think most of the people are the way I am, that it's not very natural to approach strangers. So make them know you before you meet them. So because when you are sharing your social capital, and by social capital, I mean goodwill, your trust, your skills, your maybe collaboration, your ideas, your knowledge, through LinkedIn, they already know you before you will meet them alive. And that is very nice way to make your life easier, Because if these people know you already, they have seen your posts or maybe commented it, next time you see them in live version, it's much easier to start conversation. They say, oh yeah, I know you. You are the one. Yes. Oh, nice to meet you. So it's much easier, much more natural than to start to take out some sentences, what to say next. So that will definitely help you also network in live. And every time, this is live and also digitally, when you are approaching people, there are 3 questions we all ask every single time we meet someone we don't know earlier. And this is one thing. Do I like this person? Secondly, very quickly you think, do I trust this person? And thirdly, would I like to buy anything from her? And this 1, 2, 3 goes very quickly in our mind. I think you did the same with me when I started. First of all, you were thinking that, do I like her? Is she's the person who will tell us about networking, about LinkedIn? Is she good enough? And thirdly, you think that, are those ideas what she's telling us really useful for me? Can I use it? Can I buy those ideas? So you do exactly the same, I think, with me right now or earlier. So other people do the same. And this is totally natural. So think about when you approach people digitally, how you can be likable, how they can trust you. I have a little bit more than 9,000 people in my LinkedIn network. And that's very good because I think we have in Finland over 2 million LinkedIn users. We have 5.5 million inhabitants. In Estonia, 1.34, I think, million people. So small country and a little bit less LinkedIn users. But still, it's very easy for me now because I hardly find anyone in LinkedIn in Finland or in Estonia with whom we don't have any common connections. So it helps me very much that, yes, people can trust me because I'm a real person, I'm not a spammer. Some other people, my people from my network know her, so she must be okay. So that's why it's very good to yeah.
I'm jumping in because the organized people might be thinking now that this lady is going ahead of time. Her time is up. So
okay.
Can you just very short wrap up because your time is up.
Yes, don't think that you have too many contacts because there are room for 30,000 contacts. So don't be afraid that maybe it's too much already. And one thing that networking can be never delegated. So as soon as you have any opportunity to network, do it yourself. Do not hesitate to do it and do not delegate it into your assistants or anybody else. Also digital networking. And I really hope that if we are not connected yet in LinkedIn, please send me the contact request. Thank you.
Great promotion for LinkedIn, and I think they should start like giving you some sort of salary for all the great job, but it's really a great platform. And Aide, one of your slides was about atomic habits and James Clear quote. So my question to you is, what did you change in your habits after going through the book?
Actually, my habits, most challenging for me is to be regularly, to do something regularly. And I cannot lie that I'm still not there. There are maybe sometimes a week when I'm not posting anything or commenting anything. But this regularity is something I'm still struggling, but I'm working on it.
Thank you. And Aide, I have a tip for you. 7 words this time. Ordinary things consistently done produce extraordinary results. And this is a very powerful statement. I have it noted on my work computer, and every time I think, oh, I will postpone this small little post, I look at it and it works. Thank you for sharing your tips.
you.
And ladies, I'm sure many of you are already on LinkedIn and connecting with other participants. But we have here Giorgi, the only male participant. So I would be very curious to hear, what did you take away from this today's morning forum?
Well, I think to summarize it is that I was really inspired. I heard a lot of inspirational stories, and I think, well, once again, it was highlighted how important it is to dream big and follow your dreams. So I think a lot of participants have a lot of good takeaways. From me, my key takeaway, as I said, is how important it is to stay updated and to stay inspired, because as you know, inspiration and motivation is not a constant thing. It comes and goes, so sometimes you feel down, but from the stories that I heard, I think it kept me motivated for a long time now, and highlights how important it is to despite challenges, just keep moving, keep developing. And there is a good saying that discipline will take you places where motivation cannot. So I think if we combine those two, motivation with the skills that we discussed just right away, a lot of very good, let's say, developments can occur. And even though today's business forum, today's forum, I would say, was a small step in the development of the women entrepreneurship. In a wonderful book, Lawrence of Arabia, there is a saying that big things always have a small beginnings. So I believe networking opportunities that now participants will have much more impactful results. And I would like to believe that today is just a starting point, and And when we finish, a lot of participants will discover new opportunities and follow-ups to this event, because now they know that in Estonia, they have Estonian Chamber of Commerce as their partner if they need. And in Georgia, they have Georgian Chamber of Commerce and Industry as their reliable partner. And I'm sure that all key speakers will be open to cooperate and support women entrepreneurs. So I would like to once again thank Estonian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Estonian Development Agency, and of course thank all the speakers and all the participants. It was really my privilege to participate in today's event, and even though more than 2 hours passed, I truly must say that I was very in the event the whole time, very interested, and each speaker brought something new and something interesting. So I would like to thank you all, dear speakers, dear participants, and of course thank you for the hosting and moderating in such a lovely manner. So take away, stay inspired, stay focused, and stay disciplined. Entrepreneurship is very difficult. We all know that. However, one of the key aspects that I learned from women entrepreneurship over the years, as I said, it's been for more than 2 years, I think, that I'm more or less familiar with support of women entrepreneurship and why it is significant overall. Men have a certain view, unfortunately, that we should not differentiate between women entrepreneurs and male entrepreneurs. And I didn't have the answers for these questions. Maybe I have my doubts. But now, when there is such topic and mostly male-dominated, let's say, discussion points, I always like to highlight that if you support women entrepreneurship, you are not giving someone advantage. You are supporting equality, because that's what development of women entrepreneurship means from my point of view. And we need more women in management to give them unique perspectives. We need more women in STEMs. And I think the small steps that are taken by our organizations, by women entrepreneurs participating here, by our speakers and everyone is just small steps that will lead us at some point to full, let's say, equality despite our genders, etc., etc. So I wish you again all good luck. Thank you. And in time of COVID, first of all, I wish you and your families good health. Thank you.
Thank you, Giorgi. And it was a brilliant wrap up from your side. And I'm sure that you will receive this question again and again and again, why women have to be treated differently compared to male entrepreneurs. But what we have experienced over the years here in the chamber, and we started with the Female Leaders Club actually throughout the pandemic times, and we started meeting virtually on Zoom. The fact is that women need more encouragement. They need to hear that somebody else is having exactly the same struggles as they are. Whether it's about raising the teenager and then joining it with the business and all those daily struggles, but they need to listen more. And they are very good listeners and maybe not that good at bragging and self-promotion, but also what we have come to realize throughout those female leaders clubs is that all these are skills which can be developed. It's not that you are whether born with it or not. When I was moderating my first webinar, I was terrible. My hands were shaking, my voice was shaking, everything was shaking. The whole Zoom setup was shaking. But luckily, the participants were having the same struggle because it was all new. And now it's like a business as usual. Yes, we open the screen, we do the thing, and this is how we are able to meet during the COVID times. Just to wrap up from my side before to leave the participants for the networking opportunity, which I do hope you have been using throughout the webinar and the forum as well, is what did Kristel Meos say? She said, it's important to take action. Go and show up. Many times the success is only about taking action. And then be continuous. So don't let the inspiration what you got today and the contacts flow away, but make a plan. How will you use this knowledge what you received from here? And also you can make a list of all the great books that were recommended by our different speakers. Luckily, I've been able to go them through already now. So I have only one remaining, which is the recommendation by Nino. So how women raise. It has been in my reading list for a long time already, but now I promise in front of all of you, because this is how you make your promises to stick, that I will go it through during Christmas time. And the Estonian and Georgian Women Entrepreneurship Project is actually going on. We already had a mentoring training program, and now the mentors and mentees will start to meet regularly. We really hope that the pairs of mentors and mentees match and click and really support in the entrepreneurship journey. And we will have business delegations. We will have female business women from Estonia going to Georgia and the other way around. So it's not only meeting virtually, but also meeting in physical space if the time and the pandemic allows. And this is all happening thanks to the generous support of a development cooperation program by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Estonia. Once again, many thanks to all who came and joined today's forum on behalf of Estonian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Georgian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and Development Cooperation Program. I wish you a really nice afternoon, great networking, and see you hopefully sooner than later again, whether on a virtual space or a physical space. Thank you.